another race from outer space. It's another race away. It's another.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Eternal Midnight. I'm here with Chad. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, guys?
And Dylan's back. How are you doing, Dylan?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
All right. So we're back with Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. So
Alien Cube.
let's
It's a better title than Resurrection of all things.
let's
That's true.
let's get into it. So what do you guys think of Alien 3? Dylan, what do you think of Alien 3? You recently rewatched it, right? So
Yeah, I did. I went in with an open mind, actually wanting to love it because David Fincher is my boy, one of my favorite directors. Ultimately I ended up just liking it enough. I liked it just enough.
but like not
Yeah, I didn't love it. Unfortunately, I'm not in the Alien 3 cult, but
Yes, we are a tiny little cult. Yes, we are.
yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, but I found a lot of things to appreciate this time around. That's about it.
fair enough. How about you, Chad? You defend this movie, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes, I love this film. I don't want to say I'm a Fincher fanboy, even though I kind of am. Like, I pretty much love everything the guy has ever made. But I don't know. I've just never like Dylan, you just said you wanted to love it, but you couldn't, which to me indicates you're somewhere in the middle, I guess.
Yeah, definitely more on the positive side.
Okay. Now I see people who just like hate this film. They're just like, this film is just like pure trash. It shouldn't exist. It should be decanonized, all this shit. I'm like, it wasn't that bad. I mean, okay, it wasn't okay. One, it was Fincher's first movie, which I will partially point my finger at the studio and say, maybe you shouldn't have hired a brand new director to do Alien 3. Maybe that's on you. But they also took what he did and kind of screwed it up. Now,
Yeah.
I like both cuts for different purposes. But the biggest thing that I always see people say is, "Oh, it's so dark and depressing." I'm like, it's also a horror film, you guys. Did you forget that part? It's a horror film. It's not supposed to be happy and sunshine and rainbows.
Mhm.
And did you just want the same thing they did with Aliens all over again? Did you need that amount of action again so you could just repeat yourself? I mean, it definitely brought in aspect. I mean, it still pushed Ripley's character forward. And just to jump to the end, I like the ending. I can understand why people would hate it, but it's like they kind of closed everything off with Aliens, with destroying all of them. And it's like, okay, if they wanted to do one more thing with it, it kind of made sense to, for Ripley. Okay, maybe it doesn't make sense for Ripley to have died, but it's like, she went out like the hero that she is. She took the final piece. She took the final xenomorph, a queen who could have started everything all again. She took it with her, and both of them went to their death. So it was almost like poetry in a way. Ripley's adventure with all this started with one alien. She survived, and yet she still sacrificed herself to make sure this never happened again. So I don't know. I like it. I loved it when I rewatched it the other night.
My issue with it has always been the fact that from the beginning, like, okay, I'm gonna pull from Aliens. Ripley's objective from Aliens was to get Newt, and then they survive. And at the very beginning of Alien 3, she dies. Just like, what was the point then? What was the point of Newt surviving?
Yeah, but they didn't. But she didn't go to the planet to save Newt. Newt was just a bonus added in. And everyone complaining about Hicks, we already discussed it. Hicks is It wasn't really that important. He just happened to be the character that survived. I like Hicks, but I don't hold him dear to my heart like some people do.
Me neither, but like it's more of like I really enjoyed Mute, and it was just kind of like, and this is just my opinion. It was kind of like sad to see her like, oh, she survived all that just to be killed in her stasis pod. I was like, well, what was the point then?
Mhm.
I liked it.
Like you
I
understand.
like the overt nihilism of the movie.
I
Just
would
the bleakness of it.
I like the
Mhm.
concept of like Ripley lands on a prison planet, and like it's a new like 'cause we saw like, so first it was scientists, then soldiers, now prisoners, which I think is like, okay, yeah, putting the alien in where the prisoners is like, that's really cool concept. I like the fact that Tywin Lannister's there, like the actor.
Yes, Charles Dance.
Yeah, Charles Dance, and who's also in Godzilla King of the Monsters. I can't believe I know that.
And don't forget he was in Ghostbusters 2016.
He was.
Oh,
I
no.
he was actually.
And he was the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
So so yeah, you know, like it feels like honestly for me personally, it it didn't exactly it didn't exactly work, but like it wasn't bad. It was just I'm trying to formulate proper words to make me understand.
I get what you're saying. It just I know what you're saying. It comes down to that personal preference, I think.
Yeah,
And I do think
exactly.
and I will admit this, I do think nostalgia does play a part in it because I marathoned like I said, I'd seen parts of Alien and Aliens when I was younger, but I'd never seen 3. And then when I finally got a hold of the DVD box set at one point and I watched all 4 of them in a row, it was like I literally watched all 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, on the same day. So to me, it was just like one big, long, continuous story. So maybe I'm a little more biased towards enjoyment because I had a great time. But I still, like I said, I still do enjoy the story. I still did enjoy the horror aspects coming back to it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
The visuals too. I think Fincher really shows his strength as a great visual director here.
Oh, I mean, if you look at it, it still looks incredible. It once again, it looked like a decrepit, shitty, grungy, garbage future,
Yeah.
which is exactly how Scott and Cameron portrayed everything. So I think he did a good job following up in their design department.
Yep. The opening scene in the beach, especially where Charles Dance gets the body of Sigourney Weaver, and that had a great like post-apocalyptic imagery there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Roger Ebert, who didn't like, I think he hated the movie, but he called it like the best-looking bad movie he's ever seen.
Hey, I'll take that.
That iconic shot of the alien pressed against Ripley's face, like, and
Yeah, that's iconic.
That's really cool.
But yeah, that's leading me on to one of my gripes of the movie. Like, despite amazing visuals, the most important visual of the movie, you know, the xenomorph looks pretty bad. I don't know if you guys know.
When
it's
they do
composite,
the when they do the composite shots, absolutely they
looks
look
pretty
terrible. So
and
the
they never
weird thing
bothered
is
fixing it.
they weren't. The weird thing is that wasn't CGI though.
Yeah, it's a puppet, but
Yeah, it was
pouring
a
blue
rod
screen.
puppet up against the blue screen, composited on, and yeah, I mean there is no defending it. It looked bad. It really did, but I
Uh-huh.
get why they did it because short of fucking, I guess 1990, what was this, 91, 92 CGI?
Yeah, but this is 92
That
though.
wasn't, yeah, that CGI was not going to work though, because I mean, they no way were they going to give Fincher the same budget that like Spielberg got for Jurassic Park. It wasn't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it was never going to look good, and they were never going to be able to get a man in a suit to have the same kind of speed that they wanted the dog or ox alien, whatever cut you watched. There was no way they were going to be able to do that practically. Basically, it wasn't going to happen.
I like the little bit of world building there. I mean, like, even if I don't like the movie, there's some parts I do like like when I watched the theatrical cut, so it's the dog, not the ox. But
Mhm.
like I like the fact that the xenomorph attaches itself to the dog, and when it comes out, it's like, oh, it's dog form, not human form. So like it adapts to the skeletal
Yeah.
thing of the thing it impregnates.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually my favorite scene of the movie. It's that birth scene. Like I saw the assembly cut, as it's called. That's the most recent
Mhm.
version I saw. But I think they do it in theatrical too, where it's contrasted with like the elegy for like Newt and Hicks, and at the same time,
Yes,
the dogs are giving birth right as some.
that was. I thought that was beautiful when
Charles
was
Dutton's
it
character should be
when he's
something like
given
that.
that speech. That was
Yeah.
yes, that was. See, it's little stuff like that. Like when I hear, I
Yeah.
mean, you guys haven't said it, but when we hear some people like, "There's nothing good in this film," it's like I can give you a perfect
that's obviously
example of
not
something
true.
that was good. That was perfect.
It was beautiful. And honestly, like I think I was actually really enjoying it, the assembly cut up to the part where Charles Dance's character gets killed. I think the movie kind of falls apart after that moment because he was like one of the few likable, distinguishable characters in that whole prison. And after he gets killed, like all we're
Mhm.
left is a bunch of like, bald British dudes. And it's kind of hard to tell them apart.
You know, I did like Superintendent Andrews though, but that's just because that guy was just like so like hardcore on being an asshole. And then
Yeah, I
when
don't
it's
even
like
remember that.
like that when Charles Dance died, and then when he died, it was like, okay, we're left with Sigourney Weaver, Charles Dutton, and that's it. Just a bunch of, like you said, forgettable bald men.
All British guys for some reason.
But it's like, I think I was talking about it on another podcast. When they do stuff like that, it's like, yeah, I can't even tell half these guys apart. They're just
Yeah.
all
Like
British and bald
there's like
and
Pete
white.
Postlethwaite or something. The dude
Oh
from
yeah, the
Lost.
dude from Lost World,
Yeah. But he barely gets anything to do here.
which was stupid. He should have been a main character because he's a
Gotta
good actor.
be. Yeah.
But
And sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so what are you? So obviously I praised it. What's you guys' thoughts on the end of how Ripley went?
I like the fact that she died, and that makes me hate Resurrection even more because she, as you said before, she completed her arc, man. And like, it's over. You don't have to. You don't have to bring her back via cloning in the next one.
It also it also depends on which cut you watch because in the theatrical version you see like the chest burster like, actually
The
exit
Queen.
through her chest. Yeah, and she like cradles it as she's falling, which is a great image. But then in the assembly cut you don't get any of
No,
that.
in the assembly cut, she
So
just kills herself.
yeah, but at the same time that also makes her sacrifice more like meaningful. Like I heard this from Chris Stuckman. I'm just gonna cite my source because Stuckman said that Chris Stuckman said that her sacrifice in the assembly cut's better because it's more ambiguous because Lance Henriksen is here again. He's like telling her like, we can still fix you, we can save you and take the alien out of you, but she still chooses to kill herself. Whereas in the theatrical cut, you realize like, oh, she would have died like 1 or 2 minutes later. There was no saving her.
Right.
Yeah, I think I prefer the theatrical cut mostly just because it's like she knew it was coming, and I've seen people complain about this. They're just like, "Oh, so look what Kane went through in the first one and how in pain he was and all that." And it's like, yeah, but Ripley knew this was coming. So it's like she also used up the last of her strength, even though it was like she knew there was no way this queen was gonna get away. She was like using up the last little bit of her dying strength to hold on to it and be like, no matter what, you're coming with me. You're dying with me. I will not. I'm sacrificing myself so these creatures will not continue living on.
Right.
And it's like I just thought it was, but either way, it was noble. Either way, It was very noble and selfless of our main character, who's been through hell and back, to still sacrifice her life to basically still save the galaxy. So it's like she's a hero in my book, an absolute, extremely strong female action hero all the way through.
So why did he feel the need to resurrect her in
Oh God,
Resurrection?
are we there?
Are we done with Alien 3, or are you guys
Still
still?
feel.
Yeah, closing thoughts.
Well,
I mean, like, I don't like the movie, but it does have cool concepts, which, like I said, the alien adapting to what it impregnated was awesome. The shots were nice. I do like Ripley's arc. But overall, I just can't get into the fact that, you know, it just felt like it wasn't as good as the first two. And I don't like it as much, but it's okay. You know, I mean, like,
Fair enough.
yeah. How about
Okay.
you?
I like I said, I liked it enough. I think it already has some traces of Fincher's talent. You know, visually, very striking movie. But yeah, besides Ripley and maybe Charles Dance, the characters are pretty forgettable. And I didn't mention this earlier, but I thought the climax was really confusing. It was just a bunch of bald dudes running around in corridors to a POV shot, and I was just getting confused the whole time. So I think that also brought it down for me. But yeah, I don't think it quite deserves the hate it gets. And there's something there. There's some substance to the movie that I think people tend to overlook.
Yep, and for me, like I said, I still really enjoy it. It does have its flaws, definitely. It's not Alien or Aliens, but it's also not AVP or Alien Covenant. So you know what? If people want to sit and pick out of the Aliens, Alien 3 is the worst. It's like, oh, you haven't seen Alien vs. Predator yet? Okay. Or if you have, you've forgotten about it, because that movie is 1,000 times worse than Alien 3 could hope to be. But that'll be in a few weeks. So I guess, what are we moving on to, Santino? Your favorite one so far, I think?
Fuck Alien Resurrection. Fuck this movie, I swear. It's really bad. I hate everything about it.
It's bad after. Okay, so the concept of bringing Ripley back is already dumb as shit.
Yeah,
So I guess we have to.
sad.
So I guess we have to accept that happens. I can say I'm semi-interested in the film until, like, what's her face, Winona Ryder and her little gang of space pirates show up. Until that, I'm kind of into it. And then when the fucking comic relief characters show up, I'm just done.
But here's the thing, okay? It's like the whole concept of like cloning is like, what the fuck? I mean, like, when did this happen? Like, is this like something the Sith only knew about?
It was
dark side?
hundreds of
200 years.
It was hundreds of years. Yeah, it was hundreds of years later.
So I can buy that. If Jurassic Park they can clone dinosaurs in modern day, then I'm sure they can clone Sigourney Weaver like 500 years from now.
It still makes no sense. How the hell did they get her exact DNA that would also have the Queen's DNA in it?
I have the
That's
answer.
not how DNA
I have
fucking
the
works.
answer.
That's what I was confused.
I have
That's
the
not how
answer.
pregnancy works. Yeah.
I have the answer to that. It's dark side, man. Secrets only the Sith knew. Secrets only the Sith knew. That's it
Ugh.
right there.
I mean, Brad Dourif was funny to watch, I guess, because he just went balls out, acting weird as shit in this film.
I mean, he is Brad Dourif.
Exactly. And it's like, he worked in the comic relief way that the stupid space pirates didn't. Like, Ron Perlman was probably the only one I liked out of the space pirates. I didn't give a fuck about the rest of them.
I agree.
Winona was really miscast in this one.
Why was she in this? She had no business being in this film.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I think this movie's hilarious overall.
Well, go ahead. Tell us what's up.
Well, what version did you guys watch? The theatrical or the director's cut?
Theatrical.
Was it? Okay, well, the director's cut, from the opening shot alone, it has one of the most bizarre, like, opening credits scenes I've ever seen.
Why?
I don't know if you guys. It opens with like it looks like a xenomorph, like the opening shot, right? It looks like a xenomorph mouth facing the camera, and then the camera like this is all in one take, by the way. The camera pulls back, and it's like a terrible CGI fly, like xenomorph fly for some reason. It's like a space bug. It's like flying around, and then some dude like some guy swats at it, like he sees like the dead xenomorph bug. He rolls it into a straw, then he spitballs it at the lens of the camera.
No
He
way.
spitballs at the
Why?
lens of the camera. It splats, and then that's our title. We get the title Alien Resurrection to the spitball.
You are joking. Okay, I need to watch
I'm
the
not kidding,
director's
dude.
cut
You need
now.
to watch, or you can watch it on YouTube, the opening scene, and then the camera keeps pulling. It keeps pulling back. Turns out the spitball like it splats on the window, and then the camera pulls back, and then we see this like really bad CGI spaceship, like PS2 tier CGI. And like
Wow.
I don't know, maybe that's why I
really...
enjoy this movie more than you did. Because from the get-go, it's like it's a troll movie. And I'm not. It's like a troll to the audience already. Might have been a Whedon thing. I don't know.
I mean, okay, so I don't like despise this film like I do the two AVP films, but it's just like this is one of those movies that it's just like whoa, it's not good, but I can enjoy it kind of in a way that I can like even enjoy like Halloween 5 because it's like it's bad, but I'll still take it over like modern day bullshit.
That's true.
And it's kind of like what I get out of this one. Like I'd rather watch this than Alien like Covenant or something. Because it's like at least this kind of still feels like it's part of the original series, even though, like we said, this isn't even Ripley. This is a clone, flat out. This is a clone. This is not Ellen Ripley. Ellen Ripley died in Alien 3. This isn't her.
It's like this weird sexual version of her. Like she has like so many advances towards like Winona Ryder or towards Ron Perlman or the crew in general. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's the alien DNA she has.
Which doesn't even make sense either because these aren't even true xenomorphs if you think about it. They're xenomorph, almost human hybrids because like they show at the end, the queen has a womb and gives live birth to that giant goblin-looking thing.
Which kills her and thinks Ripley is its mother. For some reason.
It's the stupidest ending ever.
Dumb movie. It's a dumb movie.
What? Okay, what was you guys' thoughts on the newborn?
Not a fan.
Not either.
I don't like its tiny nose that it has. I don't like its big puppy dog eyes.
Were we supposed to bad when
I
it
don't know
was
if we're supposed to
dying
be-
and like screaming? Because I was laughing.
I actually found that death scene. I think that's the highlight of the movie, and I'm not sure if it's funny or if it's like disturbing because it's a really brutal kill.
Jesus, the thing gets like ripped through a hole the size of a quarter,
It's
like
guts or
all of it, like all of its insides are like getting ripped out of its asshole or something out into space.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty gruesome death, and like I said, I think it's the highlight of the movie.
I think another problem this movie has is there's also like really just nothing very memorable. I think the only memorable scene that like really pops into my head when I think of this film is Ripley torching her mutated clones.
Okay, that was
Which
pretty creepy.
I'll give it. She acted her ass off in that scene. Like my hat's off to her. She did an amazing job in that scene. But it's like, what else does this movie have? It didn't. It's like
it has Ripley versus Ron Perlman in basketball.
That was great when she basically, with the strength she had, that more than likely would have probably killed him with the speed she threw that ball down and where it connected. That would have destroyed, probably slaughtered his insides.
Sure.
This movie suffers from the whole, in my opinion, this movie suffers from the whole, let's bring a character who already completed his or her story back to life because we need that money. So like it's
because
not
we've got nothing.
Alan Ripley. So yeah, it's
But
this.
the thing is, like, I understand that, like, I know that this film was not liked when it came out, and it's still really not. But it's. And Santino, have you watched AVP yet or no? Okay, good. Be glad, Dylan. I know you have, right?
Yes. I
So
would say this
what
please.
I would rather have seen where this was going rather than ever seen either of the AVP movies.
Well, actually, you'll be sad to hear that James Cameron, Ridley Scott, and Sigourney Weaver were actually developing a fifth Alien movie, but then Freddy versus Jason came out, and that was a big hit. So Fox, wanted in on that, so they scrapped the Ridley Scott James Cameron movie in favor of Alien versus Predator, which they shot in like 2 months, and
so they looked at Ridley Scott and James Cameron and said, "Go away."
no.
And they went with a PG.
I get the guy who directed
Freddy
Mortal
versus.
Kombat. Yeah.
But Freddy versus Jason was R. Why they didn't even have the balls to go R for AVP? Wow. Yeah. It's as profitable as RoboCop 3 was. The only RoboCop that was PG-13, and it was also the most hated. Because at least we'll talk about that when we hit AVP. So all I'm going to say about that is that's proof of not having even any form of respect for your franchise. Hey, let's take 2 R-rated franchises, mash them together, and make them PG-13, and give one of the most horrible stories ever. Genius idea. But Resurrection, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it other than it's stupid. It's a franchise that, once again, it had a logical closing point, but for some reason they brought it back like 8 years later, and it was like nobody liked it. So it's like, I can't believe they thought people were going to like this. Like, what? This is one of those things I look at it and I go, what did you think people were going to like about this?
The fact that Ellen Ripley's back and she's gonna kick ass again. That was the whole point. That was the selling point.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is a science fiction film. Everyone who knows science fiction knows what cloning is and knows this isn't Ellen Ripley anymore. This is her clone.
But no one cares, dude.
What do you mean no one cares? Hey, those box office numbers said a lot of people didn't care.
Oh, really?
I mean, those box office numbers showed that people did care because they didn't go see it.
I mean,
this is before Joss Whedon got his fan base from Buffy or Firefly, so yeah, there really was no point in this.
No, it wasn't. This was just I don't understand why this film was made. I really don't. I mean, budget of 70 million, box office 160. Okay, I mean it did fine, I guess. Yeah, it's not the worst. I mean, well, let's see. Well, Alien 3's budget was between 50 and 60, and it reeled in 160. So I mean, they both did about equal.
Yeah, but I think Alien 3 is probably cheaper, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, nothing made.
I mean, unlike Alien 3, because even those who didn't like that movie, they have at least the behind-the-scenes drama. That's interesting about that one. But Resurrection, I can't really think of any interesting trivia or anything interesting going on behind the scenes. Whereas
the only thing I know about it is before the movie came out, Whedon was like, it's going to be great. And then when it came out and people hated it, he, of course, did his usual. The studio interfered with my script and they changed what I created. It would have been awesome. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
what else is new with him?
He didn't direct this one.
No, he just wrote it.
He just wrote it.
I mean, Alien 3, Alien 3, if you look at all the commentaries and DVD extras, everyone there, Walter Hill, whoever, they're all just like yeah, this is pretty bad, but here's why. We have excuses. It's pretty funny seeing them acknowledging how bad their own movie is.
Yeah, it's taken, at least it's taken responsibility for making a mistake, which, like we said, Whedon didn't. Whedon just, the studio caused my movie to be bad. Well, then why didn't you just? They
Yeah,
should. I almost would have preferred him just directing it. Then
that's true. I mean,
it couldn't have been any worse, could it?
I guess not, and he's more suited for this stuff, I guess.
I don't know, but yeah, Resurrection. It's just I don't
It's just
understand why.
inoffensive.
Yeah, I don't understand why it was made.
Me neither.
Besides money, I don't understand why it was made. And it's honestly, it's the one I still watch it. I mean, I'll still enjoy. Like, if I'm gonna sit down and watch all the Alien movies, I don't skip Resurrection because I still have. I will give it some of the CGI on the xenomorphs underwater. They actually look kind of good. And you know what? I will give that credit. The xenomorphs in this movie, they look pretty damn good. Even the suits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some pretty weird lines in the movie. I noticed the last time I watched. Like at one point, Ron Perlman says something like, "I am not one with whom to fuck." I don't know if that's just weird.
I know
That's weird.
I'm not the type of person with whom you want to fuck or something.
Yeah.
Or what? When he's climbing up the ladder and he sees the spider and he screams and he shoots it with his gun.
Oh yes, that was great. That was a good moment.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or what is it? What's his face? Breeze, the dude in the wheelchair.
Uh-huh.
Who are you expecting,
Oh my God.
Santa Claus? How do we go from Alien in 1979 to less than 20 years later and we get a crippled guy talking about Santa Claus? You know what's weird? I always wondered, how in this world of androids and cloning were they not able to fix this guy's legs so he could walk?
That's a good question.
They don't have a way to even give him fake legs.
Maybe he's poor, can't afford whaling insurance. I don't know.
That's a good point. And I think there was one shot that always makes me laugh. Okay, so you know that general guy who's in charge of the ship or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that part when the aliens all start breaking out and the alarms go off and he wakes up.
Okay, I know what you're talking
Go
about.
back and watch that scene. That man has the fucking hairiest arms I've ever seen in my fucking life. He literally looks like a Sasquatch. I will get the way he died was pretty savage. But then they also kind of ruined it. Where like he got hit in the back of the head by an alien, and then he like pulled out and looked at his own brain.
Yes, that was weird. That was really weird.
That's almost when like you knew this was like a farce. Like they weren't even taking themselves seriously. See, that's another reason I'll always hold on to 3. At least it took itself serious. This movie didn't.
Uh-huh.
Santino, you've been quiet. What's your thoughts on the Resurrection? You barely said
Channeling his
anything.
hatred.
Because it's basically fucking Transformers Revenge of the Fallen of the Alien franchise. That's what it is.
Oh no.
Oh well,
it's not that boring, dude.
Well, you'll get your Dark of the Moon and Last Night in the next episode then.
Oh no.
Which is what? Prometheus and Covenant.
AVP. Oh wait, no, that's the last episode. AVP and AVPR.
Next, because like I actually like Prometheus and Covenant, even though it goes against the story. But other than that, I mean, like, wait, Resurrection. The whole point is the whole Ripley clones are so stupid. That's what took me out of it. It reminded me. Genuinely, it reminded me of Palpatine coming back and having the exact same like having the exact same way, but now Ripley's like she's horny, which is weird. That's what it just took me out of it, man. I was like, I can't. I mean, like I want to say stuff, but like there's nothing too much to say because it's like there's
You're just so in awe of how good it was, you don't know what to say.
No, there's nothing good at all. It's like Alien 3 I didn't like, but at least that had some redeeming factors. This one has none.
Oh, damn. Well, I'll bet you $1,000,000 you're gonna backtrack when you watch the 2 AVP movies, and I guarantee those are gonna be lower than this.
You're gonna miss Resurrection, man.
Shit.
Well, maybe not. I don't know, because I do know some people who look at the 2 AVP movies and they're like, oh, they're just dumb, harmless fun, and I'm like, yeah, I'll still take Resurrection.
There's some people who like the first. I don't think anyone likes Requiem. Like
I
haven't
like
heard
the concept of Requiem better than the execution of the first AVP, but I don't like the execution of Requiem at all.
You know, it's funny that before Alien 3, David Fincher was he was mostly known for doing music videos for like Michael Jackson, whoever. And you know, from Alien 3 he goes on to make, you know, 7, which is great. And the AVP Requiem guys, they also did music videos before that. So, you know, who knows? In the future they might make a 7 or something. They could make a 7 in the future, who knows?
Well, they already tried when they did that. What was it called? Like Skylights or something?
Oh, they did Skyline?
Yeah, that like abduction film.
Oh, okay, I take it back. Yeah, they're not making 7. They're not making 7 anytime soon.
Say they tried. Oh, so I forgot to say it during Alien 3. So before Alien, just I'll throw this in real quick. So before Alien 3, there was like a lot of different scripts that were thrown at them. And one of them was thrown at them by the guy who did Pitch Black.
Okay. Vin Diesel.
And yep, and they rejected it. And so he went and reworked it, and he made Pitch Black.
Okay.
Nice.
Which,
Yeah,
Santino, you haven't seen Pitch Black yet, right?
No, but that's the Riddick one, right?
Yeah.
Dude, Pitch Black is fucking awesome. Pitch Black is an incredible, and it's like, I watched it before I knew that, and then when I watched it again after finding that out, I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, I could totally. This would have been an amazing Alien 3 if this has been what we've gotten.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of.
Hey.
Yeah.
There's like a concept for Alien 3 where it was supposed to take place in a wooden planet or something. And Ripley was supposed to find, instead of, yeah, they were supposed to be like celibate monks or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be some kind of like telling of Snow White or some shit.
That would have been cool.
Like a Snow White retelling. Maybe. I mean, they shot the movie. They started filming without even a finished script. So.
At one point, didn't they film like a trailer?
People.
Wasn't there like a trailer that like said something about going to Earth, and they shot
Earth.
that? They made that trailer before they even started shooting the movie.
Yeah, they did.
Because obviously Alien 3 was nowhere near Earth.
There's at least like 10 different people who like, I mean, there's only 4 credited, one of which is Walter Hill, you know, who is a pretty popular director. But yeah, there's at least 10 or 15 other people who had input on that. So it's pretty much it's a miracle that
some of them should have done maybe some of them should have done something with Resurrection then.
Maybe, because I think Joss Whedon's the sole credit for this one.
Yep, he is the only one who's on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he can't point his finger at any other writer and say, well, they corrupted what I originally wanted. It would have been better if I'd been the only writer. So instead he just points his finger at the producers. It's their fault.
Yeah.
No, dude, you just wrote a stupid story. Get over yourself.
Bad story. It's really bad.
So Resurrection, I got nothing left.
Me neither.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same.
It's just bad.
It's just bad.
It's bad.
It's awful, but like I said, I enjoy it in the way I enjoy something like Halloween Resurrection. It's mostly just laughing at it.
I think I got more enjoyment out of Jason X than I did this.
Oh
no.
What a burn.
Hey, you know what? At least Jason X, while it wasn't taking itself seriously, at least that movie had some memorable kills to it. What did this have? The newborn? That's it? I can't name.
Like
Everybody else just
like
stabbed in the head.
Damn.
Well, there was that one guy, the shooter guy. who falls in some water and like that's it.
He killed himself. Well, he got the acid on his face, but then he just fell down.
Okay, I had no idea what killed him. He just found some water and that's it.
He shot the alien. He got
He
the
lost the will
acid
to
in
live.
his face. Yeah, basically. And then he's like,
Would that
the
kill him?
alien's holding on to his foot, and then he just like lets go. It's like, oh,
Would that kill you though?
Right.
The acid on the face? Didn't
I
Kyle
mean
Reese get
that
acid on his face?
acid.
I forgot.
I mean that acid ate through quite a few layers of the ship in the first Alien. So who knows?
Yeah, but Kyle Reese got
I don't
acid.
know.
Not Kyle Reese Hicks got acid on him.
Yeah, true.
He turned out fine.
I don't know. I think I read. I either read something or I heard something that was like some fan came up with something. They're like maybe he was part of like a culture or religion where he didn't like because he was scarred. He didn't want to live
Yeah,
or
it's
some shit.
dishonorable or something.
Yeah, something like that. Where it's like, okay, that doesn't make sense either. But I guess that's a better explanation than like you said, just losing the will to live.
Yeah, he did a pad.
Oh, this thing's holding onto my foot. I give up. Boom, down he goes. And it's like, what? Just get down into the water, shake it off, and climb back up. It's not that difficult. I don't know how that would have killed him. There is really almost nothing good in this film.
So I guess that's it. So this has been Santino, Dylan, and Chad. Thanks for listening. And
We'll be back with what do we got? Oh, we got the back half of the Predator franchise next.
Predators and The Predator, as well as
Oh,
Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
and then we're gonna end it with the two AVPs. Oh,
All right. So everyone, you continue listening, and we'll see you very soon. Bye, guys.